Hockey Canada announces CEO and entire board of directors will step aside. This is the Great White North Report.
I'm in love with the system. Never going home. I'm in love.
All right, so I saw this happening. They were forced to resign over political and corporate pressure over their handling of alleged sexual assault, which is kind of funny considering that Justin Trudeau himself was alleged to have groped a reporter 18 years ago. So he's not one to talk, though he had to put his 2 cents in there. So Hockey Canada announced its entire board of directors and the CEO, Scott Smith, will step aside as the organization confronts widespread criticism over how it handled an alleged group of sexual assault involving members of 2018 men's national junior team. Basically what happens is they settled out of court. Because if it went to court, the woman would have to prove the allegations. And that's harder than you think. And the woman could also be making false statements. You never know, because look at the Jake Vertanen. He went to court because a woman accused him of the same thing, of sexual assault. Her credibility wasn't all that great, so Jake Vertanen won his case. But it cost him part of his hockey career. He was dropped by the Vancouver Canucks, and I think he was with Edmonton, but Edmonton Oilers received some criticism for signing him, and then they dropped him out of his PTO. It does haunt you, things like that. So I think Hockey Canada, because we're protecting the players too, so they settled out of court, and I guess people didn't like that. They thought it should have went to trial. There's also the 2013 alleged video that some guy had of the 2013 World Junior Hockey Team doing the same thing. That will never be proven in court. Like, Executive Officer Scott Smith is leaving effective immediately. So the witch hunt is done. They got what they wanted. The entire hockey board is gone. Even the one they hired to oversee it, she's also gone. So a virtual election is scheduled for December 17th, and that all current board members will not seek re-election. Christ, imagine if they got re-elected. And the Intermittent Management Committee will focus on day-to-day operations, including reviewing and working with members and implementing a pending report on Hockey Canada's governance, the organization says in its statement. So everything good about Hockey Canada is being shut aside for the 1% that's bad. Remember the old adage, one bad apple spoils it for the rest. And this is exactly the kind of thing. Andrea Skinner resigned as director and interim board chair of Hockey Canada over the weekend, days after her controversial appearance before a parliamentary committee during which she defended the organization. Because she defended the organization, they attacked her as well. They want blood. They wanted to see heads roll, and that's what they got. Now I bet we're gonna see a woman at the top. That's gonna be the CEO. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because there are a lot of women and young girls that play hockey now. But at the same time, you don't want to see them get to the top this way. She described Hockey Canada as the victim, which it was. It was a victim. It was a political game. Our board doesn't believe senior leadership should be replaced on the basis of what we consider to be substantial misinformation on unduly cynical attacks. Yeah, Trudeau making his attacks for a guy who groped a reporter, and who knows how many other women he groped over the years. So major sponsors including Nike, Tim Hortons, Canadian Tire, Esso, and TELUS responded by cutting ties with Hockey Canada permanently or by withdrawing funding from the men's hockey this season. So rats leaving the sinking ship is what it was. None of them had the balls or courage to stand by Hockey Canada for everything is done. As far as Nike goes, I'd never let them back. Nike, their jerseys are made over in China, and they're made for peanuts, and they bring it over here and sell it at outrageous prices. You know what Chinese companies do? Chinese companies, they overproduce Nike products, then they sell them on the black market for a third of the price to make extra money. You go to Itaewon in South Korea and find any hockey, football, baseball, basketball jersey from Nike, shoes, whatever, at like a third of the price of what you pay here. So the federal sports minister, Pascal St-Onge, said she was frustrated with Hockey Canada's leadership following Skinner's committee appearance. Of course, because she wants it all gone. This is her big moment. She must have known, because everything would have been recorded and reported on way back. So even Bauer suspended their support as hockey provider to Hockey Canada. Oh, go look for another hockey provider. Let someone else get in, because it's the big companies that control everything. So let's bring in another equipment provider. Let's go to the Europeans. Let's go to Jaffa or Koho or something like that. Let them become our equipment provider. If Bauer wants to leave the ship. because they're afraid to be tarred with the same brush. Though, like, their organizations are any better. So it also affects members of Parliament from all stripes, including the Conservatives, NDP, and that. They're taking their shots at Hockey Canada. And Conservative MP John Neer, a member of the committee probing the Hockey Canada allegations, said it should not have taken this long for the executive to leave. Well, because they were just following their own protocols. Again, this is something they've been doing for a while. Why would you... No one said any boo until now. Was it in the best interest of hockey? Probably not, but... So they want to see meaningful changes to the government's organization and culture of Hockey Canada. So that starts from the ground up. Kids have got to use better choices. The parents have got to educate their kids and make better choices for their kids and also watch them like a hawk. Coaches have also got to educate the kids, must be better educated themselves, and also watch their players. And then the organizers of any events and any leagues have got to police the players too. Especially the World Junior Championships of 2013. Where were the organizers? Where were the coaches? Where were the parents? If such a thing happened, where was the hotel staff? Where were all these people that should have been there to guide these kids so they don't do anything stupid? Now, the Malloy one, that was his own damn fault. Didn't use his head. But again, it starts from the parents. Teach your kids better. But anyway, so the resignations were inevitable, said Hockey Quebec, because Hockey Quebec, they pulled all their support too. They refused to pay their fees. So did the Ontario one. Hockey Canada had its federal government funding frozen, and membership fees and provincial grants from grassroots fundraising sponsors. It's also dried up. So everything. So it's going to be a challenge for Hockey Canada to rebuild itself, and its image has been tarnished in Canada over a smear, which was basically a smear campaign. It should never have gotten to this point, but again, it's what they wanted. It's what the government wanted. And politics should never have come into this. But I guess with federal funding, they had to. But anyway, any Canadians out there, let me know what you guys think of the whole Hockey Canada scandal. What do you think is going to happen in the future? Will Hockey Canada bounce back? I think it will. I think Hockey Canada is going to bounce back. We're going to get a woman in charge. And we'll see if any meaningful changes happen. So it'll be, I think all changes will be cosmetic. And there will be a lot of stuff behind the scenes as always. It's part of nature. But again, any Canadians, leave comments in the comment section. Until next time, this has been the Great White North Report.
I'm in love with